Hi, I'm instructor Jennifer Wallace with Krav Maga, Wisconsin and Custom Self-Defense. What I'm going to do today is teach you a little bit about striking and how to put your body behind your strikes so that you have more power and greater distance. For this, we're going to use Bob just so we can kind of go over the areas of the body. If you've worked with me or watched my tri-block system, you'll see in general, we end up being either to the side or in front of our opponent, and many times behind our opponent. So I may turn Bob to show you kind of some areas to strike, but what I want you to really understand is that your strikes are going to contain two different things. One is a little bit of a snap, and another is some hip rotation to help put your body behind your strike, and I'll explain that a little bit more. So in general, when people strike, a lot of people just kind of do their jabs, their crosses, and then they kind of don't pay as much attention to body mechanics. Body mechanics are really important. Every time I do a strike, I want to move my body with that strike. So if I'm going to do a jab, I'm going to pivot my jab, and my cross, I'm going to bring my body forward for my cross, okay? If I'm going to move in with a palm heel strike, I'm going to move my body in with that palm heel strike. If I'm going to go in with an elbow, I'm going to move in with that elbow. So the concept is to always be moving. The other concept I want you to understand is that my body is always going to be pivoting with my strikes. And what that kind of looks like is more of almost like when you swing a baseball bat. I want to get my body moving. So it's really important for you to be pivoting with your strikes. And you'll see when I'm throwing my strikes that I'm pivoting almost every single time, if not every single time, because that's going to gain me distance as well as if I'm snapping that strike, helping me go through that target. So to start, we're going to think about Bob as a target area. I can do Bob more forward facing. So if I'm facing Bob in this direction, I have all these strikes in the front. I have the body. I can even get to some of the side. The point that I want you to get to is that every time I strike, I want to pivot my body. So when you practice in the beginning, you don't need to hit Bob, boom, 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 as hard as you can. I want you to focus on setting those techniques in, as well as pivoting the body, lining the body up in the direction of my strike. So if I'm going to strike in this direction, I'm going to line my body up in that direction. If I'm going to strike forward, I'm going to line my body up more in the forward direction, okay? If I need to come around for a strike, say to the rib cage, I am going to line my body up for that rib cage, or I'm going to line my body up for that back fist, okay? My body has to move with everything I do. That's what puts my body and not just my hand or my arm behind that strike. So I'm going to kind of just give you some stuff you can practice. On a forward-facing Bob or target, I can look at like palm heel strikes, okay? So if I was going to do palm heel strikes, I'm going to pivot my body out and then pivot back in, okay? This is going to give me power and distance. If you look at my hand here, I'm just touching Bob, this is all I have, okay? If I pivot, I will go through. If I pivot, I will go through Bob's head, opposed to just stopping at Bob's head. And I don't ever really want to extend my whole arm where my arm is locked out. I really want to be able to strike with a slight bend in my arm, so this protects my joint. Otherwise, I can hyperextend, or my opponent, if they get my limb, can hyperextend that limb. So, going more sideways, we have palm strikes. We can go to the nose. And I want you to notice how I snap these strikes in. I come from a relaxed position to a palm position. So that snaps that strike, okay? Boom, okay? I don't want to just go like this. I have to actually snap that strike while I'm pivoting. That's going to give me more power. I can go to the chin, okay? More of an upward motion. Again, snapping those strikes and pivoting my body. I can go to the solar plexus the same way. I can do body strikes. I don't teach a lot of body strikes. Most guys are muscular, just like Bob is. You can hit them pretty good. They'll be able to tolerate most of that. The one that I will go to is in the solar plexus because I can strike here in an upward motion, which is going to cause discomfort. If I'm going to do any type of elbow to the body, I'm going to move my body in with that elbow, okay? If I go the other direction, I'm going to move that body in, okay? I mostly like to position myself to the side. So when you see my tri-block system, our first goal is to get to the side of our opponent and strike. From here, it's good for you to just kind of get yourself in this position when you're first learning and say, hey, what can I strike out of Bob? What is available? I will tell you, I can get to almost anything, okay, on my target. So palm heels to the jaw, palm heels to the ear, palm heels to the temple, okay? I can go to the front of the face. Okay, I'm not going to just do this. I'm going to pivot my body into that strike or into the chin. All right? I can also go to the groin. Groin is a bowling type of motion, right? So say I smack Bob here, now I can go down to the groin. Okay, so I can hit here, and then I can turn forward and bowl. When I bowl, I'm going through. The other thing I can do with Bob here, let me see if I can do it from this direction so you can see, is I can hit to the back of Bob's head, all right? My striking does not stop at the front of the head. It moves also to the back of the head. So if I have Bob here, excuse me, and I start with a strike here, and I'm striking Bob here, and I go through this groin, I can come back to the back of the head. And in this case, with a hammer fist, I can come through with a knife strike, okay? And then I can come back to the front. So there's a lot I can do here. I can also do a palm strike to the back of the head. And the way this one looks, I'll show you from here, is it comes in, right? So just like I would come here to come up or here to come up, I can come to the back of the head. And if you see, this is just a tap. When my body comes in, I'm going to get more out of Bob in movement. So I want to put my body behind everything I do. So when you practice pivoting with your body. Practice throwing strikes as you pivot. I don't care what they are, okay? Depends on your discipline. I just want you to flow, get used to pivoting, getting behind everything you do, making sure that you're protected when you do it. If you notice, every time I strike, I have a hand that comes back to protect me, okay? So I can strike, all right? But I also want to make sure I'm pivoting my body and I'm protecting my center. That you can do any strikes you want when you're practicing this pivoting and getting your body behind here. Not just palm heels. You can practice elbows. You can practice hammer fists. You can practice back fists. You can practice body shots. You could practice moving around your opponent in different ways so that you get used to moving through. Striking, punching, palm heels, back fists, it doesn't really matter. I just want you to get used to moving around your opponent, okay? So that you can get this rotation going with the hips and get behind all your strikes. So whatever you do on a normal basis, whatever your techniques are, can be done in this manner in order to get your body behind that strike. Whatever target you have to practice on, whether it's a bob, whether it's a heavy bag, or you're practicing with a partner, it's really good to get in the habit of moving and getting into the position as you normally would, okay? If I'm normally going to block somebody and move here, I want to practice striking from this angle and practice moving my body with my strikes. Hopefully this was helpful for you. Please watch some of the other videos we have, and if you have any questions or feel like you want to train with us, give us a call. Thank you.